Dear students, in this video I will explain how the jet and rocket propulsion takes place. Propulsion means a push forward, that's all. The principle involved in this is very simple. Giving momentum to a mass of the fluid in such a manner that the reaction of given momentum gives the propulsive force, which propels the jet or the rocket. This is the principle involved in the jet propulsion. So the mass of the fluid in the jet is hot gases. So the hot gases are produced in the jet by drawing the air from the atmosphere and compressed it to the high pressure, and fuel is burnt along with the air in the combustion chamber. After the combustion, the hot gases are liberated, which are made to expand through the nozzle, so that the nozzle gives a high velocity jet of hot gases, which gives a propulsive force. So this is the principle involved. There are two types. Number one is airstream jet engines. In airstream jet engines, again it is divided into two types. In that, steady combustion system. In steady combustion system, the air continuously drawing from the atmosphere into the combustion chamber, and combustion takes place continuously, and the hot gas is liberated after combustion continuously expanding through the nozzle. So this is called the steady combustion system. In intermittent combustion system, the hot gas is liberated after the combustion, and these hot gases till are left to the atmosphere, the fresh air will not enter into the combustion chamber. So this kind is called the intermittent combustion system. So example for this, pulse jet and flying bomb, and example for steady combustion system are turbojet, turbopropeller and ramjet. So second type engines are the rocket engines. These are also called self-contained rocket engines. Why it is called the self-contained means the oxygen required for the combustion will be carried along with the rocket itself.
Now I will explain the working of a turbojet. It is an example for continuous breathing engine, air breathing engine. It consists a diffuser at the entrance. So the diffuser means it is increase the cross section area. Increase the cross section area which converts kinetic energy into pressure energy. So the velocity decreases and pressure increases. Whereas the reduced cross section area, it converts pressure energy into kinetic energy. This is called the nozzle. So here as the air enters the diffuser at the speed equal to jet speed, so that its velocity will be slowed down and hence its pressure increases. So after increase in pressure, the air it enters the compressor. Usually it will be a rotary compressor. It will again increase the pressure of the air. At high pressure, the air enters the combustion chamber where the fuel will be supplied and combustion takes place. After the combustion, the hot gases are liberated, which are at high pressure and temperature. These hot gases partly expand in the turbine, because whatever the power produced by the turbine, it is utilized in order to run the compressor and the other auxiliaries. So the remaining part of the expansion takes place in the nozzle, so that the nozzle it produces a high velocity jet. The reactive force of the jet it will propel the turbojet. So this is the working of turbojet. Turbopropeller is an example for air breathing engine. In this jet, the air is continuously drawing into the combustion chamber. So this jet, it consists diffuser, compressor, two combustion chambers, turbine and nozzle. It also consists a propeller here. First the air enters the diffuser where its kinetic energy is converted into pressure energy. So after increase in pressure, the air enters the compressor where it is again compressed to a high pressure. At high pressure, the air enters the combustion chambers. There are two combustion chambers here. So by supplying the fuel, the combustion takes place. After combustion, the hot gases are liberated. These hot gases are made to expand in the turbine. So in the turbine, only 80% expansion takes place. And the power produced by the turbine is utilized in order to run the compressor and the propeller. So after expanded in the turbine, the remaining 20% of the expansion takes place through the nozzle. Hence, the nozzle, it gives the high velocity jet. The reactive force of the jet moves the aircraft. Now we'll explain the working of ramjet. It is also an example for continuous air breathing jet. So it consists of diffuser at the entrance, the air at the speed of supersonic velocity, that is more than the sound velocity, it enters the diffuser here. As soon as it enters the diffuser, its velocity will be decreased and its pressure will be increased. So its velocity, it comes down to, slowed down to sonic velocity. It means the equal to sound velocity. So after that, the air enters through these passages here, in upper passage and lower passage. So these are called the subsonic diffusers. As the air passes through these upper and lower passages, its velocity again decreases to the subsonic velocity. Subsonic velocity means it is less than the sound velocity, so that the pressure again increases. At high pressure, the air, it comes to the combustion chamber. This portion is the combustion chamber. These two are the fuel injectors. These fuel injectors will inject the fuels here, so that the igniter, that is the spark plug, it gives the spark and combustion takes place. So after combustion, the hot gases are liberated, which are at high pressure and high temperature. So these hot gases will expand in the nozzle, so that the nozzle, it gives the high velocity jet of hot gases. The reactive force of this jet will give the propulsive force and it will move the jet. This is the explanation regarding the working of ram jet. Now I will explain the working of pulse jet. It is an example for intermittent combustion jet. So it consists of diffuser at entrance, and these are the grid passages having non-return valves. So non-return valves means these valves allows the air only in one direction. So as the air enters into the diffuser, this section is the diffuser, its pressure will be increased due to ram effect. I have already said, if the pressure is increased in the diffuser, that effect is called the ram effect. So as the pressure increases, these valves will be opened, and the high pressure air, it enters into the combustion chamber. So these are the fuel injectors, will inject the fuel and spark plug gives the spark, so combustion takes place. After the combustion, the hot gases are liberated, which are at high pressure and high temperature. So these gases will expand in the nozzle. so that the nozzle, it gives high velocity jet. So the reactive force of this jet will move the jet in the opposite direction, so that when the after the gases are expanded in the nozzle or left and then exhausted to the atmosphere. So in the combustion chamber, the pressure falls. So when the combustion chamber pressure falls, these valves again opens. So the air enters into the combustion chamber. So this is called the intermittent combustion. So combustion will not be continuously taking place in the combustion chamber. So that's why it is called the intermittent combustion jet. So here this side is the, when the air pressure is more, these valves will be opened and allow the air into the combustion chamber, so that after combustion the pressure will be again raised in the combustion chamber, hence these valves will be closed. So after combustion the hot gases are liberated, which will be expanded in the nozzle and then it is exhausted to the atmosphere. When the gases are expanded in the nozzle and exhausted to the atmosphere, in the combustion chamber the pressure falls. As soon as the pressure falls in the combustion chamber, these valves will be opened and allow the fresh air enter into the combustion chamber. So that's why this jet is called the intermittent combustion jet. So this is the explanation regarding the working of pulse jet. And then comes to rocket propulsion. So I have already explained, in the rocket engine, the oxygen required for the combustion, it is carried along with the rocket itself. The rocket carries the fuel and the oxygen. So this is the rocket diagram. It consists a fuel tank, and this is an oxidizer tank, and this is the hydrogen peroxide tank. This is the hydrogen peroxide tank. This tank contains the hydrogen peroxide. So these two are the pumps, and this is the steam turbine, and here it is the combustion chamber. So this is the nozzle. So the pumps, both the pumps will pump the fuel and the oxidizer into the combustion chamber, where the spark plug, it gives the spark and the combustion takes place. So after the combustion, the hot gases are liberated, which are at high pressure, and these hot gases will expand through the nozzle, and the nozzle, it produces a high velocity jet. The jet, it produces a thrust in this downward direction. The jet of hot gases, high velocity jet of hot gases, will produce the thrust in downward direction. According to Newton's third law, the reactive force of the jet, it will propel the rocket in the opposite direction. So this is about the working of rocket propulsion. So here the pumps will be operated by means of the steam turbine. So how the steam turbine produce the power? So here it is, the hydrogen peroxide tank is present here, and it potassium permanganate will also be carried in the another tank, but it is not shown here. The hydrogen peroxide tank and the oxygen the hydrogen peroxide tank, it supplies the hydrogen peroxide and mixed with the potassium permanganate. So it will produce the steam at the high pressure. This steam will impact over the steam turbine and run the steam turbine, so that power will be produced. This power, it is utilized in order to run the two pumps. These two pumps will supply the fuel and the oxidizer into the combustion chamber. And you know that I have already explained. So combustion takes place and the hot gases are liberated, which will expand through the nozzle, so that it produces the jet in the downward direction. The reactive force of the jet, it will propel the rocket in the opposite direction. So this is about the working principle of rocket.